If you guys were Kyle's lawyers, what would be your first step? Who would you go after first in this entire matter? The prosecutors, the media, the state. How would you navigate that field?
Man.
Well, whatever he's going to do is going to be tough.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he won. And we were talking about libel proof earlier. Part of the problem with the way we prosecute things is if any opinion out there is based on the prosecution itself, based on what's in the complaint, people are able to formulate reasonable opinions based on that. Now, there are issues because a lot of the stuff that's being reported by some of these places never happened. For example, saying that Kyle shot 3 black men. That never happened. So that's not really a subject of the complaint. That's a way to attack. But I mean, for my money, I'm going after Krause and the county of Kenosha, and by extension, the state of Wisconsin, on the deprivation of civil rights. I think that's a great approach to take. And then for defamation, it's going to be based on individual news publications and what they've said. Wasn't it The Guardian the other day that said he shot 3 black guys?
The Independent.
The Independent. So that's going to be tough because that's in the UK. So that unless they have a U.S. office.
I believe they do have a U.S. office.
Okay, so you might be able to go after them, but you're really going to have to do very careful sifting, as we saw with Sandman, right? They had something like 57 statements and only 3 went through because almost all of them are opinion. Anything that says Kyle's a white supremacist, that he's a racist, that he was racially motivated, those are going to probably be opinion statements.
But they all said he crossed state lines with a gun. That's a statement of fact.
Right. So
Right.
that's a on its face a defamatory statement. Then the next thing, so Kyle's a little bit of a different. He's differently situated than almost anyone else would be. Right. The second he got arrested, this case went global. Right. So what they will argue is not against the defamation. They will argue that Kyle's a public figure.
Right.
So once you become a public figure, man, that defamation hurdle is huge. It is. In order to show damages, you have to satisfy this bar that's almost impossible to satisfy, even if you prove Kyle did not cross state lines with a gun. Kyle did not shoot 3 black men. Kyle is not a domestic terrorist. He's not a racist or a member of whatever. That's what I would recommend to Kyle and his crew is that I would write an open letter to the Department of Justice for them to initiate a federal civil rights investigation of the Kenosha County Prosecutor's Office and the police that investigated this case, because they have done that repeatedly in the past when there has been racial unrest and cities were burning. That's DOJ's biggest civil harm.
Yeah, I think the DOJ is more likely to go after Kyle.
No, I agree. I would just make this. I would do that
Right.
as part of a sort of a grander media strategy to be like, we asked the department to come in and do X. They said no. Now I have my rights under defamation and this and that and what other options he's choosing.
Do you guys think the Tucker Carlson documentary complicates this because it kind of paints him as a public figure?
Always. Look, whenever you're making statement, like you never hear me talking about my defamation cases except to say the pleadings are public, the instance is there, they lied about this meeting. That's all I say. If you give an interview on that, these lawyers are going to go in there and just tear you apart and use that in pleadings.
Yeah, because Tucker Carlson was filming a documentary on Kyle during the entire court proceeding. So,
Which I agree with Kyle's defense lawyer.
Yeah.
I would have been like,
Yeah.
no way.
No,
like
thank
you're
you.
out. You cannot be here. But it's Kyle's choice at the end of the day.